Welcome back. If you're just joining us, now you're still on the POLITY, reaching live from the nation's capital. Now we've been joined by Dr. Abdullahi, of course, to do perfect justice to one of our topics for today, which is the Northwestern security. And the question is government or poverty as a responsible cause. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. How are you,
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you once again.
It's a pleasure. You know, it hasn't been easy with Kogi election up and down.
Elections and everything. At least now the election is over.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's quickly dive into today's topic because I'm thinking we have limited time and we have so much to talk about. But then let's start with the north central insecurity right now. Well, a particular governor came outside today to say he's blaming whatever it is on poverty and hopelessness. Do you agree with that? That is the reason why we have so much insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria?
You see, it is a game between cat and rat. And when Paul failed to fail exam, he put the blame on Peter. When Peter failed to sell his product in the market, he said it is Paul's fault, not supplying at the expected time. Let me tell you, the problem is with the governors themselves, the leaders, not the followers. I don't think in the entire world today we have the perfect followership as far as between leaders and followership is concerned. Nigeria have the best followerships when it comes to followership. So the problem is not with the individual, with the grassroots, with the followership, it's with the leaders. Because if we have to discuss this issue of security in the Northwest and North Central, have to go down to look at what are the governors, what have they been doing, what are their master plan as far as security architecture is concerned, what have they done in the past that will show their leadership style and quality when it comes to security in the state and talk of the region at large. So it's nothing. You can see what this guy is doing in Maiduguri, Zulum. He's perfectly trying his best. There's a time he will risk his life going to the field with the soldiers himself. So what are we saying? Are these soldiers being motivated? They are not being motivated. Did they have enough the latest weapon to fight these bandits? No. Then what are they doing? Who are the causes of? How do we have all this insecurity? It's from Togri, political Togri. And who are the masters of architect of all political Togris? We have Sarasuka that will later develop all these things. We have the Endabas, the Angoras that will develop and manufacturers where we develop and transform into bandits and other gun mercenaries in the region. What are they saying? They know these boys from A to Z, and they know their families, and they pay them for their jobs. All what we are talking about this Mbindigaradi, we call them in the north that all these gun mercenaries, all these what they call them bandits and other associated form of criminality in the north, they are being sponsored. If they are not sponsored, where do they get the money from? And who sponsored them? And why is the government keeping quiet? The state government have to go under net, do a kind of research, come out with their research findings, submit it to what? To all the 6 chief security officers in the nation. In the nation.
But do you even think the chief of staffs in the nation can actually do something? Because it has gotten to the point now where they've been invited. I mean, the Senate invited the chief of staffs today and yesterday rather, and they didn't come around, and they had to move it to February 13th. And which begs the question: are we actually really safe?
Let me tell you, Mazi. Let me just say with you. That is part of the oversight job of the what? Of the legislative arm of government. And they are just doing it for formality's sake. We have seen them on several occasions whereby they will intervene. This issue, we see them calling people to come and hearing here and there. What comes out of it? Nothing. We end up spending our money, wasting time. You get report, papers, committee being said, another committee to oversee the committee of the social committee. It's useless. So you see, all this thing pissed me off. We are not being sincere to ourselves. It's at this point in time, it's not even the issue of patriotism. No, it's look. Let me tell you, our leaders are not being sincere to themselves as leaders. No talk of followership. Leaders have failed to understand their responsibility as leaders, governor. What does it take to be a governor of a state? Your first assignment is what? The security of life and property. This is why today one of the greater achievements of what? Of His Excellency here at Kogi State is what is the matter issue of security. He was able to pin down Kogi State. use both the security agents, both the local hunters, both the local vigilante, for every form of security network, local and the modern one. He brought them together to work.
But now it looks like even after he handed over, it looks like there's now insecurity, because I think as of Monday, about 2 buses, one for GIG and one for a certain bus company, they said people were... It
don't happen in Kogi State, not Kogi State.
So where did it happen?
It happened between the border of Edo State and Kogi State. To the Edo State. So if really it has happened afterward, the handing over of Yabelo, that will tell you that look, the person of Yabelo being on government have some kind of security, serious security effort. On security.
What is doing different?
What is doing different? Look, let me tell you.
What did he do different, rather?
Let me tell you. What he did different is that look, he brought in all the state security agents together. They work together with local hunters, with local vigilantes. And let me tell you, I don't want to leak a secret here, because I'm privileged to have some information that when it comes to security network, I said it. Even let me give you an example of it. When this new government in Kogi State come on board, I gave an advice, and it worked for Kano State. That look, do you know what? For you to improve on what your predecessor have done, the former governor have done, have a think tank and research team, let them go to Lagos. Look at what Lagos are doing. That what increase their internal generated revenue. That put them on pressure of what? Of high speed development as far as the state is concerned.
But you can't compare any state in Nigeria to Lagos.
That's what I'm saying. You have to. It's now a way. You have to go back and learn from them. I said, go there, send your team there, let them go and look at it. The same thing with one in the north. Go to Kano and let's look at it. What are they doing different? Go to what? Port Harcourt, River State, and see what are they doing. Then bring it together. The same thing with security. If this guy, His Excellency Abdullahi, have done good, excellently as far as security is concerned in Kogi State, why not other states? Now call him, what have you done? Exactly
my point, because I was going to get to that. Now, this by issue of Northwest insecurity, it was made by the governor of Kaduna State, and of course, it looks like we would say, like to backdate that the former president, the level of insecurity with the former president, that's Major Muhammad Buhari,
yes,
it was on a high note, and now it looks like it has spilled over to the President Tinubu, and now it looks like that is what is happening with Kaduna State now. It moved from one governor to another, but then why can't everybody learn, or so to say, can't the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, teach others what he did different? Because we've spoken about local policing, and it looks like nobody's even ready to actually adopt that particular notion to say, okay, let's look at a way forward. But then, if the government is blaming joblessness and hopelessness, who are
joblessness and hopelessness has been the social crisis we have in the system that is affecting the economic and have some serial effect on what? On the security.
This has been a bordering issue.
The bordering issue, the article of security in the Northwest. Look, there is what we call competitive advantage when it comes to economics, and the same thing we have when it comes to leadership style and ideology. Where somebody have a cutting edge against ahead of you, meet him and discuss with him. Are they not colleagues?
But they're willing to learn.
That is a problem. This is what I'm saying now. Look, the issue of Northwest, North Central, Northeast, look, has now been reduced to individual to look at how do we handle the issue. It's supposed to be a collective effort of all the governors coming together, the Northern Governors Forum. What are they doing? Last week I saw this issue of Northern Security and Northern Forum, where you have people dining and whining and taking tea on table that they are discussing security. Serious security matters. If you are discussing it, the let me mercy, you don't discuss it on day broad light. It's not issue of conference where you drink tea and you have dinner and breakfast. It is what we discuss in the midnight, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. What are they saying? Are we out of our senses as leaders? Do you know the first responsibility of every leader as far as the 21st century concerned in this modern in this century? Look, you have to secure life and property. Let me tell you, if you are talking of North Central and Northwest, the problem here is that look, the governors are not looking beyond their borders. If you have secured your state, you look at
how does the next state affect you?
That's correct. Is security-wise, economic-wise, and every social-wise. You have to even look at their culture. What are their cultural threats to your old cultural existence as far as you have to relate with this state. If we are intertwined together, you share border with Nasarawa State, with Kogi State, Kaduna State, FCT, then what are these people doing together that they have in common as far as what flooding is concerned, as far as security is concerned, as far as what cultural differences is concerned? How do they synchronize all these differences and make good a result out of it? Because I said it one thing, if you look at it, people, let's go to the wider society, larger society across Nigeria. People still blame Adolf Hitler of the Second World War, that is in 1944 to 1945. Do you know that, look, even looking at the far consequence of that Second World War of Adolf Hitler, you understand now, it has manifested, it has led to a lot of theories, war theories, and national theories of peace and conflict resolution, theories of national development and progress, and have got to what global institutions have formed a lot of alliance, understand now, that is giving the global peace today. If not, with the proliferation of nuclear weapons all over the places today, we should have been a nuclear war. Crazy out of Hitler. Look, if you look at the ugly side of one thing, I will look at the good side of it. And the impact of the bomb of the nuclear bomb used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki by USA today tells the world that, look, nobody should try that again as far as what nuclear and nuclear bomb and chemical weapons are concerned. So nobody dare try it. Look at the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia would have just used one nuclear weapon against and level the whole nation there. But they can't dare try it. This is what I'm saying here today, is that, look, we need to work together. All the governors have to come together. Let's look at your strength as a governor. Which side, where is your competitive advantage?
But when it comes to insecurity, sorry to barge in, do you think we actually have any governor that has more strength? Because now that the Kaduna governor has said something about poverty being the main cause or the root cause of insecurity in the northern part of the country. Now, if we're going to talk about poverty, we're going to break it down. This morning we spoke about poverty being alienated on it, so because people feel like, oh, if you don't work, that is why you're poor. But then let's look at it from the insecurity and banditry part. Let
me tell you, there's this common statement I said, an idle man is a devil workshop.
It's a devil workshop. But then that is not the case in this scenario. In this scenario, we have most of the northerners. The northern is actually supposed to be the food basket of the nation. That is where most of the foods are gotten from in Nigeria.
This is where you are very correct. This is what I'm telling you. So now the problem is with the leaders.
If you're saying the leaders, we've seen these people or the bandits or kidnappers. They've moved from raiding villages to farms. We had a case where we had someone say something about villagers cannot access their farms except they pay taxes to most of these bandits. And now, if you do not have access to your farm, now let's break it down in a layman's language. A farmer feeds his family from whatever proceeds he makes from the farm, and then of course he still sells out some, and then whatever cash he gets is still what he still uses to bring up his family and all of that. But then in this case, he doesn't have access to his farm, which of course generates money and food for him and his family. Then poverty springs forth. Then there's rise in inflation, and then there's expensive food prices skyrockets in the markets. And now most of the same people are being pushed out to do what they are not supposed to do. Meanwhile, the government is blaming poverty.
You are looking at physical insecurity. How about social insecurity? People that are killing themselves, committing suicide. We have seen people, fall into lagoon, and some people waiting for trial to crush them to death. Is that not more severe a threat to our nation? But
taking Plateau for example,
let me tell you, if you are talking of economic issues that lead to physical insecurity of the state, look, if that is the case, then let's come together, still bounce back to leaders. How are they solving the economic crisis problem? How are they marshalling out plans to tackle the poverty alleviation of the people? Then how and when do we start getting it wrong?
Well, they've claimed to say there's palliative for us, but then we didn't get the first palliative.
That still goes backward to leadership. If you have increased, if you have taken away the fuel subsidy that is costing you 2 million, and now you are giving palliative of 2.5 trillion, that what sense does this make to you as a leader? What sense does it make to you? And let me tell you, what are the psychological war strategy that the government is having on these banditries? Because first and foremost, what scare you as a citizen is that, look, the moment they arrest you, they get you, that look, you must submit to them, if not, they're going to kill you. You must submit and try to secure what? Your life and property. First your life, you get back to reunite with your family. Then that should they have worked on you psychologically, that you should know your life is at stake. It's 50-50. They can take your life or they leave your life by giving them a ransom. Let me ask a simple question. Do the government have the same template to work on this bandit, on these people? That they should know that, look, this is the consequence, and they are going to sleep on it. And if you work on somebody psychologically, let me tell you, that is where he starts getting it wrong and they become confused. That is when they start walking into your trap. It's not just confronting them with the modern ammunitions. No, you work on them first psychologically. If, for example, Sambisa forests have been there, and we call Sambisa forest for the last 15 years, 20 years, then government should come and say, look, we are going to level Sambisa forest within the next 24 hours. And look at, you have worked on their psychology, and look at what the body are going to do.
Exactly, because this is going to spill over to what happened there under the President Muhammadu Buhari's regime, where they said they caught kidnappers or bandits, and they said they were pushing them back to society because, of course, they've made restitutions and all of that, which begs the question, should there be a strong law?
You see, Mercy, if you are
more
talking
like,
of not
if we catch you as a kidnapper, you would face firing squad.
You see, you are still pushing me to look at the strategy used by His Excellency Abdullahi in Kogi State. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had in Kogi State during your Bello that anybody have been caught kidnapping or bandit that has been taken to police station? The answer is zero. And the state was secured, and people do their traveling excellently. They go about their businesses peacefully. Even during the election, I can assure you there were no serious political toggery we have in Kogi State before now. There is, but it's just, you can say, a pocket of them here and there. Not as we used to experience it, whereby they will tell you this local government or this local government, this particular is free for all. So what we are saying is that, look, there is common element in it. Get what is that element solution? That what? Nip it at the bud, and you get the results. Let me tell you, I think it happened in Ondo State. The first time they attempt kidnapping and this thing, and it never occur again. They occur again, except these churches are killing.
Maybe or massacre.
So issue of kidnapping and what and banditry in the State or Owo State doesn't come up again. Did you ask what happened there? How did they get it right? Then by then Ondo State shared border with Kogi State. So the governor then was a very intimate friend to Yabello, and he got it right. Let me tell you, these people, if you want to fight insecurity, as far as North is concerned, North Central is concerned, it is not the issue of what? Saying because of joblessness or the social insecurity, poverty. No. First and foremost, let me tell you, an average Nigeria is a godly man. On Sunday, you look at all Christians go to church. Churches everywhere. And they preach is what? Peace, love. The same thing every Friday. You look at every Muslims go to mosques for what? For that Friday sermon, and they talk about one God, peace, love, and one another. Even interdenomination interaction, peace between Christians and non-Christian, Muslim and non-Muslims. Then where do we still have this? Do you know in the whole world in Nigeria have one of the largest churches and mosques in the whole world? Then why are we having this? I will continue to tell you until our leaders stop this the recklessness in corruption, abuse of power, and giving the citizens their right, and live up to the expectation of their tax as leaders when it comes to governance, and then they will start getting it right. And when they start having sleepless night by giving people their right to sleep at night, you don't go and sleep as a governor, you take too much wine, you have eaten too much, you go to sleep and you expect your citizens to sleep.
But in all of this, what role does the citizens have to play? Because I think it was a few days back where we saw a picture of a self-acclaimed 80-year-old man who was part of the masterminds of those that kidnapped and killed monarchs in Ekiti State. So now we as citizens, because now of course we are apportioning blame. The government has gotten theirs. We as citizens, because there are some people now, those kidnappers, they get money as ransom. Are you trying to say that money is not enough? I mean, 250 million, some go as far as 100 million. After getting the money, some even still go ahead and kill the people they kidnapped.
These people are being sponsored. They have sponsors from everywhere. They have those that work for them. The informants are there. By the time they get their money, they share it among every court across those that are involved. The people that will go there get food for them and send it to them in the forest. They have all those. They have a perfect arrangement for it. That is why I'm telling you that, look, for you to do this, it is not just physical security. You must put a lot of things on ground. And if you are talking of insecurity in the nation, you don't discuss security matters as calling people to conference, coming to party, dinner, breakfast. No, you discuss security matters when other people are sleeping. Because security issues is not meant for everybody. Because as far as you are discussing security matter in day-broad light, your opponent, the criminals, are also plan to counter it. As you are marshalling out plans to hold them to ransom during the daylight, let me tell you, they are also planning on their own in the bush. So what is there now? What you have to understand, look, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to security matters, all the governors have to come together.
Isn't that the purpose of the Nigerian Governors Forum?
Nigerian Governors Forum, what have they achieved? If the Nigerian Forum have been existing for the past 15-20 years and we have not achieved 25% of objectives or any of the objectives, then what is the essence of their existence? The essence of sugarcane is sweetness. If the sweetness is not yet low enough sugarcane, what are we saying?
Okay, all right. Let's quickly move away from the Northwest insecurity. I'd like us to take two things together. That's the rise in inflation and, of course, the dollarization. And maybe a third one. Actually, it's going to be three together. The Lagos court order against the federal government. They've given the federal government 7 days to regularize the prices of petrol and food in the market. And then talking about dollarization, it looks like unofficially, dollar has become a legal tender, and of course the EFCC has come out to set up a 700 men panel. And do we think that is going to actually work? Because some person said it is laughable, and then the Lagos court giving the federal government 7 days. Do you actually think that is something feasible? Then we'll get to the final.
When it comes to economy and looking at it, what is the function of judiciary in stabilizing economy in Nigeria? It's the work of the executive, not judiciary. You understand now? Don't take a job you cannot finish and don't start it. It is not the job of the judiciary. It's supposed to be the job of the executive and being an oversight job by the legislative. Finish. We have institutions that regulate prices, price control agencies. We have them. We have consumer protection councils. We have a lot of councils. We have a lot of agencies that maintain, start to stabilize price. They look at the right of the consumers and they look at the right of pricing and other things.
But these agencies, are they actually functioning properly? Because we know we have issues in Nigeria. The policies are never the issue. Implementing those policies are always the problem.
That is why I continue to tell you that we need to get it right until you get the right people at the right position. That is it. Not when a political party won an election and you start to put people that just based on political ideology, you are picking them based on political favoritism. You are not getting them on the basis of what? Of the best hand that can give you result. That is it. The moment a party get appointment, you don't call people that participated during the election people and look, I'm giving you appointment.
But you cannot totally shove those people aside.
You cannot show them. Look, let me tell you, if I want to give you appointment, you have worked for my party and I won. Look, please give me a capable hand with this qualification, with this quality that I want to put in this place, because I know you cannot do it. This is what we're saying. Is it not before now that the governors will select names of 3 ministerial slots from each state and submit to 5? Out of those 5, we will look at the credentials. Who is more perfect? Who is more excellent that can be on this job? Then you give it to that person. Where are we getting it wrong? So now the issue is here is that, look, the issue of price control, we have seen it. Sorry, I will continue to ask for any military intervention here. If you look at it, when Buhari came on board in 1983, they have direct price control. They go to warehouses where people stock, items and broke them out. They broke the whole places. They empty it, push it out for people to buy. Before you know, they flooded the market with products. Then we start buying milk 25 naira then, 25 kobo again. What are we saying? People are buying farm products from the farmers direct. They keep it in their warehouses just to wait until the prices are high, skyrocketing, then they will not bring them out and to start selling. What is the government doing? The government is supposed to have their own warehouses, their own silos where they buy and store.
But do you actually think that is even going to be visible? The same governments are...
Is it not the same government that will go to Thailand, will go to the Japan, China and buy rice and come and start to share? Why can't you buy direct from your farmers and store and keep? When it comes to polity, then you now distribute physical food, raw food to all the legislators. Go and buy and sell, distribute food. If they go and sell in the market, they will now have to hold them in the market. Where do you get this product in the market? You know what I'm saying now? Buy direct from the producers. You have rice mill everywhere. Go to those rice mill. The government will like to buy from you. I learned when Buhari came on board, somebody buy about 15 trailers of rice, maize, cereals, and took them out of the country to Gambia. Just to cut the supply of food items in Nigerian market. So what are we saying? We knew all these things and we know how to tackle, how to handle it. It is a question of, look, let's come here. I continue to say it. If this government is being sincere, ministers should be allowed to do the job. Let them remain as ministers. You, Mr. President, have your think tank. Have your think tank. What do we do to cushion this issue of what economic crisis? How do we tackle insecurity? You can have think tank on insecurity, have think tank on security, and have think tank on social security or social packages for the Nigerian citizens. In this, we are in this 21st century where advanced countries are talking about the right of animals. We are talking about the right of human beings in Nigeria. For God's sake, where are we going? What are we saying? Do you tell me the problem of the leaders or the followers? No! They come out, you said it, we come out with a very beautiful policy. Where are we failing in the implementation? This is what I'm telling you. You give somebody ministerial appointment, you give him your blueprint, this is what I want you to do within the next 6 months. If she's not doing it, kick him out.
Well, we do hope we get a government that will be that bold, because even doing the checks and balance right now, it feels like until it's all over the internet.
The issue of dollarization in this country is when Emefiele, it is during Buhari period we knew that, look, you can become a billionaire within 1 hour with transaction in central bank. They sell for you at the rate of maybe 14 naira, you sell at the rate of 100 maybe 100 naira or 150. Instantly, as they are selling for you, they are also selling, they are ready, people ready to buy. And there you don't have to spend, you don't even need to go with money. You just paper allocation to you. This allocation, you move it, you collect your money and go. The other guy go and get the dollar and go back to black bank to sell it. What type of nonsense life is that? Is that government policies? That is when friends, associates of Mr. President or the first family now have to rub shoulder with the central bank governor. The guy spent close to 10 years on that seat. What have we achieved from Emefiele? Zero. And now I ask this question: where are his friends and his associates? What are you telling about dollarization? Tell every institution that have to do with what foreign currency in Nigeria is stopped and banned for life. Your legislation have an act and law that whoever do this is 21 years imprisonment, and the process of the judicial process should be within 3 weeks or 2 weeks, 15 days. You are being prosecuted and being sent to prison 21 years, and nobody is talking about you. Believe me, get 2-3 people, you see nobody will try it again. Now they are not even in occasion, social occasion gathering, they are not spraying naira, they are not spraying dollars. The level of recklessness in governance. And who are doing this? Is it the market woman? Is it the people in the IDP? Is it the people that we are saying that they don't have money, that they are the cause of insecurity? Those that will go to party, wedding, birthday party, Thanksgiving, celebration, prayers, and spread dollars. Is it me and you? Come on, what are we saying? We should come back home and put away our cap of reasoning, and let's reason as true Africans, and let's go back to look at history, what our founding fathers have done for this country, and let's get it back.
Okay, right. The two things before we move to Kogi State. Now, the hike in cost of transportation, goods and services, which has also resulted to higher cost of living. Do you think this price control can reduce the high cost of living? And
sorry to cut you short. What are you talking about price control? Where did Dangote get his money to build that refinery? Emefiele said he borrowed they claim that Emefiele, you understand now? 40%. 40%, you understand now, to build that refinery. Then what is Nigerian benefit from that refinery? And last week I read from the pages of news that Dangote is importing crude oil from US, from other countries to refine in his refinery. Now, are you telling me Nigeria don't have crude oil for Dangote refinery, but Nigeria have money for Dangote refinery to be established? Now, crude oil is not good enough. It's not marketable for Dangote refinery. So they will now move our crude oil to one country there, maybe in Gambia or in Ghana. So they will now change paper and bring it back to Nigeria. It is being imported by Dangote from US or from one of European countries. Then it's right the same product price. Now give it to the market. Who is fooling the others? Let them get out of Nigerians. I told you here that look, every Nigerian is as intelligent as the other. The leaders are not more intelligent than the follower. The citizens are more intelligent than them. Let me tell you, the governors are with all those in the governance in governance are only few of Nigerians, not up to 10% of Nigerians.
But these people that are few, let's say they are not even up to 10% of the population of Nigeria. And now we've spoken about cost of transportation, inflation, but you know that in all of these, it doesn't affect most of them because, of course,
let me tell you, Mercy, here in Niger State, Mina, they have a demonstration against high cost of living in Niger State. In Suleja, it was replicated in Suleja 2 days ago. Have we forgotten the NSAS protest? Let me tell you, I had the vice president saying, if we didn't do the needful, these people will come and start knocking on our door one after the other to tell you, look, I want to take my right from you. It is with you. The economic right has been stolen by you and they have to take it from you. You're talking of banditry going to villages. By the time they don't have villages and they don't have farm to take, where are they going to? They brought light armed robbers are going to bank. In time will come, they will not go to bank. They will start looking at these people to get their money. And not even a time will come, it is not just ambassador. People without arms will even wait for them in the supermarket. They will hold them to their jugular vein or their throat with their teeth to suck their blood. So, look, an action plan needs to be put in place with immediate effect. Look, let me tell you, if we need to get it right, we still have people that go to the universities, get intellectuals, bring them together. That was what IBB does during his time. He brought in professors, intellectuals, and he got it right to some extent. He brought in Wole Soyinka take road safety then, Tayatollah in People's Bank. What are we saying? People that claim to have integrity, not claim, because we have to test them. We have to test them to look at the strength of their level of integrity. People that will not compromise the principle and tenet of governance. They have a mandate before them, and they want to fulfill this mandate. This is what we are saying.
Okay, all right. Let's wrap it up on that, and let's quickly move to Kogi State. Well, it's barely a month since of course, power has changed hands in Kogi State, and it looks like there's lots of back and forth with the EFCC and the former governor of Kogi State. We'd like to get your opinion on that. And it looks like it's something that happens over time and every time in Nigeria, where an ex-governor is oftentimes picked by the EFCC based on allegations of fraud or misappropriation of funds. And then this one didn't just extend to the former governor of Kogi State alone. He even spilled over to, I think, his brother, his cousin, where the EFCC said they are looking for him for money laundering. I'd like to get your opinion because we have limited time. But then, something that caught my attention, there's a video currently going round about the current governor saying if he says go and the former governor says come, you should follow what the former governor has said. Is that loyalty, and is that how government should be run?
See, must let me tell you, if you would have loved us to discuss Kogi State, I would love us to have a full day discussion on that issue, because the template of Kogi issue is a mini discussion of national issue. You understand now? Kogi State is another mini Nigeria as it is, that state. So I would like us to discuss Kogi issue. That's what people don't know why I so much give attention to that state. A lot of issue will happen within that state that if you bring it to the legal society, I mentioned issue of insecurity in Kogi State, how he was able to tackle security.
Yeah, that's
you bring to the larger society. The same thing happen when it comes to governance. You understand now? Let me tell you, mention the issue of EFCC that is trending now in the media about His Excellency the former governor of Kogi State. Let me tell you, thank God you mentioned yourself that it has been a normal system, that it is when the governor left office you see them, the EFCC running after him.
Of course, because there's no immunity after being the governor.
I said it here before then, no immunity. But have you served him to understand he have such a case before then at hand? Immunity was saying you don't have to take him to court, you don't have to do anything, yes, but let him know that look, these are the cases. If he don't have immunity, his cousin also don't have, if he has immunity, did the immunity cover his cousins? It's no. So what I'm saying here that look, there is what we call conspiracy theory, and it's always we call people of mischievous aims that want to gain simple and cheap political relevance, that are affiliated to what? To other political party. Let me tell you, if the NIA boss, Nigeria Intelligence Agency, will write a personal letter to His Excellency former governor of Kogi State, Bello, that he is proud of you with the level of achievement you have achieved, that should tell you that the former governor was morally sound in character, in behavior, and his leadership style, and he has so much done as far as that state is concerned. And you look at one of the toughest security agency in this country is what? It's the Nigeria Intelligence Agency. And I'm telling you, the DG is now writing a personal letter to Bello. What are we saying? He didn't know there are cases in EFCC? Look, let me tell you, if you want to make popularity, now, look at, I will say you are leper. You understand now? We know we define that people are not a body built, you understand now? Look for somebody very big that's on top of you, then slap her. People would like to look at that shoulder. Look at this guy, look at who is slapping. Cheap popularity, and in the public. He have touched her, you have to went after this going. At the end, what they achieve out of it, what they get out of it. If some people are innocent, they are innocent. You understand now? If an institution want to make name, not looking at individual and personality that have made good name for themselves within years, that you think that look, it is time for you to taught them to get popularity as what?
But you wouldn't say the EFCC is
I don't say I'm just making a case study.
Okay.
Example. Let me tell you, because you mentioned most governors are like this, and at the end you find that nothing came out of it. First and foremost, if FCC are want to be sincere and want to be transparent, if I am the boss of EFCC, I said, look, I have any allegation against Bello. Even as a governor, I will tell my legal team, file this case against this governor in the appeal court against this governor. So the moment he's stepping out as the governor of Kogi State, he's going to court. You don't have case with anybody. before his arrival, the panel of judges will have seen the cases, read it and look at it critically and make also their own investigation. Is EFCC doing this? Is the normal ball game. Throw it on the pitch, let everybody kick it around. And if you score a goal, go. If you don't score, let it just go like that. But if people have made name, like, let me tell you, in the history of Kogi State, like the person of Yaya Adora Bello, you understand, now within this 8 years, he's a young chap coming up, you understand, politically, and he's making some political relevance as far as Nigerian politics is concerned. Then I will pray that people should not just toy with an individual, but in his own capacity, he is also a leader that we look up to and look at also his leadership ideology, principle, and achievement, so that he is a role model to some people as far as Kogi State is concerned. You understand now? And if you are taking of one of the most sensitive states in those states as far as Kogi, North Central is concerned, Kogi State is a very sensitive state because it cuts across 3 major languages: Ibira, the Okus, and the Igalas. Just like you have the Hausa, Fulani, and the Hausa, the Igbos, and and the Yorubas. So if you said you have any 10 allegation against him of what? Of abuse of office or appropriation of money or disbursement or any issues against his governor, his person, understand now. So you should not separate the instrument of power and his personality, personality. The time you file the case against him, he is still the executive governor, but he's not answerable to the court because of the immunity until he finish. It is now he should understand that, look, it is the people that beg me to become a governor. Now I'm not longer a governor. I have to answer to the people. You understand now? So now if you are not filing the case against him when he was a governor, that would say that, look, you are telling them how powerful is that seat, that the judiciary is less effective.
It's not about judiciary being less effective. Let's see if you send it from that angle. Now let's take it from another angle. You file you subpoena a governor, a sitting governor who has immunity. How do you think? Don't you think the immunity still stands as of that point? Is it not better when he's out of office? I know he cannot pull any strings or powers, but then at the end of the day, you've said it that most of these governors get away with it. We don't know whatever agreement they signed with EFCC. But then moving forward, when does this end?
When does it end? That's what I'm telling you now. Is, look, you have to work on their psychic. Let them understand that the judiciary is a standby. Even when, as a governor, I knew quite well I have a case with this court. It will weigh him. It will make him to have some limitation in whatever he's doing. He will look back, right, front, left, and before he signs a paper. You understand now? Because the judiciary is an institution on its own. The moment you leave that seat as a governor or as a president, you look quite all that, look, the judiciary remains an institution that you have to go and answer to. What are we saying? It's a simple logic. So now, we don't rubbish name because somebody is in government, somebody brought paper to you that he has done this, has taken this, understand now. Then now later he comes back with his chief of staff or his accountant to make clarification to you. You say now you are okay. Then let me tell you, if he goes into a developed country, now he goes to claim damages. That those area time you have placed my name on the newsstand that I'm this, I'm that. Understand now? Now I came back to claim damage. You said I'm free, and nothing have been considered, effective or to be right in your claims. Now look, I'm claiming 10 billion naira dollars. You understand now? Based on my personality and institution I have built within the 8 years, I want this because of my followers are also bittered. How do you do it? This is a very good point we look at. So I don't like where you toy with people's reputation, people's achievement, people's record, because somebody have thrown in some document for you without proper investigation, without confirming how realistic, how truth is it, then you judge into conclusion.
So you feel like they're trying to toy with his reputation, so everything he has done, everything they've claimed he has done, he didn't do any.
Not he didn't do any. What I'm saying, let them silently and quietly do their investigation. You understand now? Look at all papers that needed to be looked at. You understand now? And you don't even make noise. In the developed country, EFCC's such institution doesn't make noise. After your findings and you believe they are okay, quietly you go move to the court. The court are to summon him. He is the one to me to summon anybody. Let the court summon him. The judiciary have the right to prosecute. You understand now? The litigation process is what is within the judiciary. The judiciary process will take its course, and you make the person to look at guilty or not guilty. So let him also come with his team of lawyers. That's what we are saying. So allow the judiciary do their job. Not when you have taken too much, eaten too much into the right of the judiciary, the activity of the judiciary in the name of what? Trying to look at somebody as an allegation against individual. And look, let me tell you, 2000 during the Jonathan period, if before I make any submission, I would like you to understand, I have a similar issue that I have seen it quite all right. That has happened in the same manner before I make a conclusion, or I have read something like that, or somebody else. I will tell you this direct from the horse mouth. Okay. There is this council chairman of FUT Mina. I've forgotten his name. I think he's from UB or this thing. He was one time the political advisor to Mr. President Jonathan. He was accused of abuse of office, appropriation of fund to his office, all this and that. And do you know what happened? After the investigation, this man was not found guilty. Mr. President called him and gave him political appointment as what? As special advisor on political special advisor to Mr. President. It's something Alkali. So now, for you to have seen those issues, you understand now, somebody accused of wrongdoing now has been promoted by the apex organ of government, that is the executive, and given a very sensitive position. Then are we not making fool of ourselves? Now we are talking of His Excellency Dr. Bello, with all his record and achievement we have seen in Kogi State, you understand now, and now with all this allegation, if at the end of the day we see him to be innocent, you understand now, I think those masterminding all this paperwork, I'll call it for now, will put their head to shame, will find place to cover their faces. And the next thing you hear that, look, he has been given a higher appointment. And what will be our submission? What are we making mockery of our own institution, our own institutions, as far as Federal Republic of Nigeria is concerned, or we are trying to make mockery of our leaders that have labored so much for us within their own capacity? That is what I'm saying. Mercy, listen attentively. If our viewers and followers would like to learn from history, is that, look, as far as we are concerned, a minister, a retired minister, governor are leaders on their own right, and they have their own ardent followers, and they are role models from people. In this aspect, whenever you are trading any issue with their name or personality, you must be extremely careful. Because at this premature state, if we kill the leaders of tomorrow, who are really going to be our leaders?
Okay, thank you very much. It looks like we're going to do this again tomorrow. If you would be free, we'll probably dedicate like 1 hour to talking about Kogi State proper, since you said you would need ample time to talk about it. But then thank you so much for talking about the dollarization, and of course you did ample justice to the insecurity matters. Thank you very much, Dr. Suleiman.
Thank you. It's interesting having you.
This is where we wrap it up for today for the Polity. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for listening. I'm sure you've learned one thing or the other. But then, like I always say, ensure you stay safe, be watchful. Of course, we know we're a religious country, but then watch and pray, I'd always say. And this is where I draw the curtain for the Polity for today. Remember to stay tuned to KAFTAN for more news updates and of course political updates. I remain Messi Babajide. See you same time, same station tomorrow.